Welcome. It's so good to see you all, really. It's Hips and Heart Openers night. So yeah, hang on. Let me unmute you all for a second. Any special requests? Anything specific?
My first time. I don't know.
Celia, all right. Is this your first time?
Yeah, my first time on this class, so I just want to try it and see.
Okay, good. Well, welcome. All right, let's start. I'm going to hit mute all again so you can hear me. And let's start lying down. Lie down on your back. Bring the soles of your feet together and your knees apart. I love that some of you are outside. Today's Earth Day. I loved hearing the sound of the wind chimes. I have my doors open. I can hear the outside. And we'll start lying on the earth. Hi, Kim and Doug. So just starting. Starting right where you are, just lay down, bring the soles of your feet together. You can place one hand over your heart, one hand over your abdomen. Hi, Angela. We're starting laying down in Supta Baddha Konasana. Just tap in right here to your breath. Feeling and noticing the rhythm of your breath. And I have a reading today. And it's titled, "It is Enough." There's my dog. If you can't see what you're looking for, see what's there. One of the most difficult things for us to accept is that beneath all our dreams and disappointments, we live and breathe in abundance. It is hard when in pain to believe that all we ever need is before us, around us, within us, and yet it is true. Like leafless trees waiting for morning, something as great and as constant as the earth holds us up and turns us ever so slowly toward the light. Our task is only to be rooted and patient. Never was this more painfully true for me than during the aftermath of my first chemo treatment. I was in a Holiday Inn at 5 in the morning after 24 hours of vomiting every 20 minutes. I was slumped on the floor, holding the space of a rib that had been removed 3 weeks earlier. And my wife, in anger, in panic, in desperation, called out, "Where is God?" And from some unknown place in me, through my pale slouched form, I uttered, "Here, right here." The presence of God has never eliminated pain, only made it more bearable. Now, when things don't go the way I want, I try to kiss what waits beneath all want. Now, when the car breaks down, though I get angry, I try to hear the weeds in the ditch as they point me to the sky. Now, when the vase drops from my hand and shatters, though I whine, I try to see beneath my reflection in the pool of flower water. Now, when hurt, I try to feel my way through the tangle of my very normal reactions into the quiet underlying all experience. Mysterious as it is, no matter our pain or excitement, our drama or circumstance, all we could hope for is here. We lack nothing. The humble challenge of being human is not in agreeing or disputing this truth. That is as fruitless as arguing against gravity. Our humble way, if we can open to it, is to root ourselves beneath the 1,000 dreams and excuses that keep us from the ground we walk. Time and again, we are asked to outlast what we want and hope for in order to see what's there. It is enough. Just know right here that though you may not see anything, you are growing, and that something larger than you is carrying you toward the light. And just gently draw your knees together, give them a squeeze up onto your chest, lying on your back, knees into your chest. You can rock slightly or gently side to side. And then happy baby, you'll reach for your feet. Hold onto your feet from the outer edges or the insides, fine too. Bend your knees. You can add movement, playfulness. Yeah, it's totally fine to hold the knees if you can't reach your feet right now. And just breathing, right? You are enough. You have all you need. Just be right here in your body on this beautiful Earth Day. Wow, the glorious flowers, the reason, Trista, that you're having allergies, but see the silver lining, the beauty that's around and within. Take a few more moments right here, and if you're rocking, just see if you can find a still point. It's okay to move, but just see if you can find a still point and get more relaxed, like relax your shoulders and the back of your head, relax your face and jaw. Notice if you feel restless. Acknowledge what's right here. If it's restless, if you're in a hurry to get somewhere else, just acknowledge that and see if you can stay anyway. Just a few more precious moments to stay and breathe. Be right here in your body, in your home, on your mat. And then very gently draw your knees together. You'll give them a hug up onto your chest. And then you can either rock front to back along the length of your spine, or you can roll to one side and then come all the way up and over onto your hands and knees. You'll come to tabletop. Take your time getting there. Tabletop position. Bring your wrist crease under your shoulders, your knees under your hips. Press down into the index finger and thumb. And then right here, you're going to take your right leg out to the right. So right leg right, just straight out to the side. Right foot flat on the floor. Good. And then you'll drop your belly and move into cow. Drop your belly, lift your tailbone, lift your chest, sink between the shoulder blades. And as you exhale, you go the opposite. Tuck the tailbone, push the palms away, press your foot flat to the floor, pull the pit of the belly in. And do that again. Drop your belly, lift your chest, cow. And then round the back, push the floor away. Moving into cat. Do that one more time. Drop your belly, sink between the shoulders. Maybe stretch your eyes up. And then exhale, tuck your tailbone, pull the pit of the belly in, little fire in the belly. And then come to a nice neutral flat back. And then right here, you'll just come on up to standing on your knee, left knee and right foot flat. So don't move the right leg. Good. And then take your right hand down the right leg and left arm up for gate pose. So your right leg's out, Susan. You're kneeling on the left. Left hand goes down, or right hand goes down the right leg, and you reach up. And a little gentle press of the hips forward, almost like you're trying to lean back. And breathe here. Good, and then you'll come on up, and then you'll take your left hand to the ground. And you can keep the left shin where it is or pivot it underneath your body, either one, and open the right arm up. So it's a modified side plank. And yeah, you're off the mat to the side. And you can make a fist. I like to make a fist with my upper hand and roll my wrist in slow circles. Just slow circles. Good, it's a side plank. Good, and then you can even stretch the right hand all the way overhead, reaching it to the side of your room. And then from here, you'll just come back around onto the hands and knees and tabletop. Swing your right leg in. Good, and then you'll swing your left leg out. Bring your foot flat so you feel that stretch through the inner thigh. And then drop your belly, lift your chest, maybe stretch your eyes up. And on the exhale, push the floor away, tuck your tailbone, around your back. And go slow. Yeah, drop your belly, tilt your tailbone up, lift your chest, stretch your eyes up. Exhale, push the floor away, chin to chest. Pull the pit of the belly in. Do that one more time. So drop the belly, expand the collarbones, and then round the back. Push the floor away. And then come to neutral. And then you'll keep your legs as they are and come on up. Lift your upper body. Keep the left foot flat. It's gate pose. You slide the left hand down the left leg and the right arm comes up. So you're kneeling on the right shin, left foot flat, and just stretching open through the right side of the body. Being present right here to where you're stuck or what you're feeling. Feel what you're feeling. Press your hips forward, maybe lean back a tiny bit. Good. And then you'll come up for side plank. Bring your right hand to the floor. You can pivot the bottom shin, right shin underneath you, or keep it back. Left arm up. And maybe you make a fist and roll your wrist in some slow circles. And spread your fingers wide, reach your arm overhead. Just wherever you go is perfectly fine. Like there's no right, no wrong. Just feel what you feel, be where you are. Maybe roll open a little bit more. And then from here, you'll come back around to the front to your hands and knees. Good, and then bring your knees out wide. And you'll sit your hips back to your heels, child's pose. And you can walk your arms out in front of you or anywhere that feels good. Yeah, and if you're having stuffy head or ears, you can always put a block under the forehead. Sometimes that helps. And then in your child's pose, with your hips at your heels, you'll lift your torso part way and slide the right underneath you. So it's like a thread the needle, but your hips are back at your heels. And then you'll come down onto the side of your head. And you're welcome to like stretch the left arm forward, or I like to sometimes bring my left palm onto my right, go out to the side, and try to stretch the right arm out a little farther. You don't have to. And then come on back to child's pose, stretch the right arm out. And as you're ready, you'll switch sides. So lift up partway, take the left arm underneath the right. And you come back down to the side of the head. Just getting a stretch into the outside of the arm, upper back. And yeah, you can be at play with where the right hand goes. And then come on back to center, stretch both arms out in front, just reach a little farther through your fingertips. And then let your inhale bring you back up to your hands and knees, tabletop. And from tabletop, so keeping your hands on the ground, wrists under the shoulders, stretch your right leg back behind you, and then step your right foot forward. You can curl it in. And then you might tuck the left toes and scoot the left leg back a little bit. So we'll start to open up into the hip flexors. And you can stay here, hands on the ground or hands to your thigh, a low lunge. Or you can have your hands on your hips or arms up to the sky. Good. Yeah, really good. So wherever you choose to be, just be there. Breathe there. Okay to have the hands down, yeah? A little pull of your feet towards each other. Front foot pulls back, back foot pulls forward. Take one more breath. Good work. And then you'll bring your hands down to the mat and then tuck the back toes under if they aren't. Lift the back knee up off the ground. Doing a lunge, a runner's lunge. And then take your left foot and step it up your mat part way for pyramid. You'll straighten the right leg. And then you might even lift the left heel, which brings you forward a little more. You pull the right hip crease back. Really focusing on the stretch behind the right leg. Yes, good. And breathing. Nice, Monica. Good, Daniel. Take another breath. And then bend your right knee and you'll step back to a lunge. Back to a lunge. And then a high plank. Bring your right foot back next to your left. So at the top of a push-up. Good, high plank. Just hold that. Good, Celia. Firm through the thighs. Firm through your belly. Spread your fingers and toes. And then downward dog. Pull your hips up. Just go up and back. Just right back to down dog. Puppies and down dog. Oh my. Good. Take a deep breath in. Take a long breath out. And then lift your right leg up to the sky behind you. Right leg goes up and back. And bend your right knee. Just roll the hip open, like you could stack your right hip on top of your left. And extend your leg long, big breath in, square your hips. And then step your right foot forward. And step your left foot forward to meet your right. Good, halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise all the way to the top, extended mountain, press down, reach up, stretch up through your fingertips. Exhale, forward fold, bow. Inhale, halfway lift. And then come back onto your hands and knees. Come back to tabletop, to the floor. And then stretch your left leg back behind you. Good. And then curl it in, step your left foot forward, low lunge. Is that the same leg or the opposite leg? Opposite leg, yeah? Last time? Okay, you can keep your fingertips on the floor, or you can bring your hands to your hips, or maybe stretch your arms up to the sky, starting to open up through the right hip flexors. And breathing. Good, Julie. Good, Susan. Nice, Bob. Get grounded and rooted through your both feet on the floor. Yeah, if you want to scoot the right knee back a little, Brianna. Good, Robin. Pull the pit of the belly in and up. Reach up. Nice, Saiko. And then you'll bring your hands down to frame your left foot. Tuck your right toes under. Lift the thigh up so you're in a lunge for a moment. Pause right there. And then step the right foot up for pyramid. Right foot comes about halfway or a third of the way up your mat. Straighten the left leg. And then maybe you lift high to the ball of the right foot, which will bring you forward more and give you more access to the left hamstring. You pull the left hip back. And if you have blocks, you can bring your hands to blocks. That's helpful. You can drop your head, or if that doesn't feel good on the neck, you can look down at your big toe and keep the head in a little bit more of a lift. Nice, Trista. Very good. Pull the left hip back even more. And then you'll bend your left knee, step it back, high plank. Just hold it. We're going to just stay in high plank again. Hold it. I know you guys want to lower. Okay, fine. Lower down. Lower all the way down. And come into Sphinx. Let's come up onto your forearms. You bring your elbows under your shoulders. Come onto your forearms. Sphinx has been my pose this week. I've been doing this one a lot. Really am enjoying Sphinx pose. And it can be super relaxed. You can be just like, ha, or it can be super active. So you can firm your thighs, like lift the kneecaps up off the ground. You can pull with your hands to create traction. Try and press your shoulders back to strengthen the upper back. Lift the crown of the head straight up towards the ceiling. Good, and then you'll lower down, bring your hands back along your ribs, tuck your toes under, palms flat, press up to plank, and then downward facing dog. Pull your hips up and press back. And just shake your head, yes and no, just like letting go. And then lift your left leg up to the sky, bend your left knee, roll your hip open. Good, Celia, yeah, their left leg. Roll your hip open. Keep your right heel straight back. Right hip pressing straight back, but left knee a little higher. Pull the pit of the belly in, Robin. Pull your floating ribs in, everyone. Good, and then step your left foot forward and step your right foot to meet your left at the front of your mat. Halfway lift. Forward fold, bow. Bend your knees, Utkatasana chair. I'm gonna take one round of sun bee. Sit your hips low, reach your chest high, just build a little heat here. We're gonna go slow through it. See if you can bring your biceps up by your ears. So the arms go back, arm bones back, spin the pinky fingers in, a little more sparks through your fingertips, and weight in your heels. On your in-breath, can you sit deeper? Some of you deeper. And as you exhale, bow forward, empty. Drop your head. Halfway lift. And step back, high plank to low plank. It can be to the floor or chaturanga. Upward facing dog or cobra, breathe in. Downward facing dog, breathe out. Lift your right leg to the sky. Stretch it up and back. Step your right foot forward to your right thumb, warrior one. Spin your left foot flat. Reach up, we'll stay here 5 breaths. And bring your pelvis down. So square your hips more to the front, Sayeko. Both arms up by your ears here, so you're forward. Yeah, good, right there. Now press into the back foot more. That's where you really get the psoas opening. Hips don't need to be square, but they're moving in a direction, right? You're like pulling the right hip back. It's like creating something. There's some actioning the pelvis. Good, now release your arms and interlace them over your low back, your sacrum, and wrap your shoulders back, stretch your knuckles down, lift up, and then fold forward over your right leg. It's called humble warrior. And you can bring your crown of your head towards your inner right ankle, maybe. Or right shoulder to right thigh is fine. Press into the 4 corners of your right foot and pull your right hip back in space. Good, release your hands to the mat, pause, lift your left heel up off the ground. Left heel lifts, so pivot so it lifts. And then open the right arm. So the ball of the foot's on the ground, but the heel's up. Celia, bring your foot back down and then twist to the right. Good. Take your right arm up. And the tendency is to kind of lean back. It's okay to lean back, but you still want to hug in. Yes, Brianna, hug in to the center line. So left hand's down, right arm's up. Good, Daniel. Yeah. And you really want to be lifting up away from the bottom hand. Good. Opening up across your chest, your lungs, breathe in, and then hands to the mat, high plank to low plank, moving at your own pace, your own way. It could be to the floor, upward facing dog, or maybe cobra, and downward facing dog, press it back. Good, lift your left leg up and back, just stretch. Just as high as you can go, like really engage the glute, press out through the foot, and then step it forward without momentum, using strength of core to warrior one. Spin the right foot flat, back foot flat, And then reach up. So the upper body, torso growing up like the beautiful plants, growing up towards the sunlight, opening up to what's possible. And plant roots through your feet, from your pelvis to your feet. Get rooted right here, grounded right here. And in your experience, in your body, in what you're feeling, we ground and root through into what we're feeling right now. Not what you should think you should be feeling or were feeling last time you did this class or this pose. Like, be here. Can you be here? And then drop your arms, interlace your hands behind your back. Try to get the opposite thumb on top. So you do it and then switch it. And then stretch your knuckles down, chest up, reach up, and then humble warrior, roll down. You just pour yourself over your front leg. Press evenly into both feet. So your gaze is towards your back foot. Left shoulder can be on top or inside of the left knee. Play with it. You can rest on top or move to the inside. Go deeper. Stretch your arms up and overhead. Maybe drop your head. Maybe, right? Be at play. Breathing right here. Breathing. Good. And then hands to the mat for your twist. So you'll lift your right heel. You're in a lunge. And then open the left arm. Yeah, and the hips will want to go left. Don't let them. Hug in. Squeeze in. Yes, Brianna. Good, Robin. And there's a grounding through the right hand, a press down in order to lift up, in order to create space for some possibility, something new. There's a rebounding force. You press down, reach higher through the upper hand, roll your right lung underneath your left. The twist is from the abdominals, from the abdomen. Good, and then hands to the mat, high plank, low plank, or knees to the floor. Upward facing dog, maybe cobra, downward dog. Good, walk your hands to your feet. So you'll walk to the back of your mat, hands to your feet. And either catch your big toes with your peace fingers or ragdoll. You can hold your peace fingers, big toes. You might halfway lift. And bend your elbow, forward fold. Hinging from the top of your thighs. Shake out your brain, shake out the allergies. Let things move out the top of your head, moving energy, moving thoughts, releasing what doesn't serve you. And maybe there's like a deep letting go right here. We had our first call with Barron with the 40 days program. This week is about presence, like getting present to where you're not present. You know, what are you not present to? And a lot that came up for people was fear, you know, being in busyness and action and kind of denying that there's fear present, getting present to where you're not present. And then what can you like let go of right here? If it's fear, maybe it's something that you can't control. It's not serving you. Can you let it go? Can you drop it out the crown of your head? Like right now, in real time, get present to what you're not present to. Okay, release your hands. You'll walk back forward, downward facing dog. You can bring your feet closer together if you like. Take your right leg up and back, right leg up. Bend your right knee, roll open through the hip, and some of you might flip. You pivot on the left foot till the right foot touches. A little bit of trust. Yeah, good. And then feet parallel, lift your hips, lift your heart. Yes, Julie, drop your head. Pin both shoulders to your back. Good, Celia. Nice, Robin. And then flip gracefully back over, three-legged dog, right leg up. And then step your right foot forward into a low lunge again. Bring your hands this time to the inside of the right foot. So come into lizard. Right hands to the inside of the right foot. Toe heel the right foot to the right. And then you can be in charge of maybe turning the foot out at a diagonal. Yeah, you can even roll to the pinky toe edge of the foot. You might come down onto your forearms. You might drop the back knee to the floor. Some of you might experiment with reaching the right arm back, bending the left knee, catch the left foot. You can do either arm, actually. You could be at play with which one gives you a deeper stretch. I love that twist where you catch the back foot and twist. Yeah, so right forward. Go like this. You twist open. But sometimes I get more out of it if I actually switch hands and squeeze the heel in. Yeah, you can just be at play with which one. If neither feels good, just stay where you are. You get to breathe into your hips. Yeah, and if you can't catch the foot easily, don't force it. No force. Good, Janet. Get present to where you're not present, maybe in your physical body, maybe to some emotion. Good, Artie. Okay, gently release, and you'll make your way back to downward dog. And if you want to move through a high plank, low plank, you can. It's up to you. Vinyasa is always right there. And then from downward dog, when you arrive, bring your feet together. Lift your left leg up. Bend the left knee, roll the hip open. I like to come high onto the ball of the right foot, way up high. Yeah, and then you flip. You just find that edge, and then you flip into someplace new. This is a three-pointed wheel. Good, Bob. Yeah, good. Lift the hips up higher. Get grounded, like press down to go up. Maybe drop your head, open your throat, tuck your shoulder blades into your back hip pockets. The upper back muscles are engaged. And then flip gracefully back over, three-legged dog to lizard. You'll step your left foot forward. Bring your hands to the inside of your left foot. Walk your left foot to the left to wherever it wants to go. Maybe turn it out a little. Maybe you even tuck the right toes under and slide the thigh back an inch or two. Janet, getting doggy love. You can turn your foot out. You can roll to the knife edge. You can reach back and catch your right foot, back foot with your left or right hand. Be at play. There's no way to do this wrong, right? If you're present, there's no way to do this wrong. If you're in your body, if you're here and like letting go of your ego, right? It's not about performing, right? It's practice. Moving through resistance, moving energy through your body. I got to see in real time today, this morning I set the fire alarm off or smoke alarm off in my house, making pancakes for my kids. Our fan isn't working, our vent. So fire alarm or smoke alarm goes off. My dog, you know, that fight flight thing that happens, you know, and so he freaked out, froze, and then suddenly just started shaking, just shaking. You know, the body, when we have experience of fear or trauma or something that gets us like that, we have to release it. And he just shook and shook and shook and shook, and then it just was gone. You know, they instantly, like real time, deal with it. As humans, we don't do that. We have trauma and fear and experience, and we just shove it inside our body. And we shove it and we shove it. And then what we do is reach for things that numb us. We don't have to feel it, right? And we avoid. And what we need to do is feel it, let it come up. It might be shaking, it might be emotion, it might be anger, it might be something. And get it out of your cells so you can move on, process it, not store it, move it out. Yoga helps us do that. All right, release. And you'll make your way back to down dog, and you can get there however. It can be a flow vinyasa. It can be through child's pose. Good, and downward dog. We're just gonna hold this right here. Maybe walk your feet back 6 inches, walk your hands forward, get a little longer. You lose stability, but you gain something like so much greater in mobility and space and possibility. Press your shoulders towards your back, like upper arm bones towards the sky or the ceiling. Tilt your tailbone up, pull the pit of the belly and front ribs in. You find stability by engaging in it, right? Your muscles engage to get stability, but there's more space. Eyes to one point, drishti to a point, ujjayi. Spin your inner ankles back, press your outer shins in, tilt the tailbone up higher, knit your front ribs in, press your shoulders towards the ceiling, upper arm bones towards the sky. Good, Brianna. Good, and then come forward to a high plank and lower all the way down onto your belly. Good, and then right here, you'll take your right arm out to the right. I'm gonna get into some shoulder stuff. So right arm goes straight out to the right, palm to the floor, and then turn your right ear to the floor. So you look left, look the opposite way. Good, and then you'll bend your left knee, press into your left palm, and roll over onto your right side, Daniel. Oh my God, that is the cutest thing. Animals just love when their humans are on the ground. Good, so you just roll over onto your right side to wherever you can. Good, and then you'll roll back. We're not going to hold it long. You'll roll back onto your belly, switch sides, stretch the left arm out, but we're going to do this a few times each side. And then right fingertips to the floor, bend your right knee, roll over onto your left side. And yeah, wherever the left arm is right now is fine. You might need to roll back on your belly and adjust the arm. Don't move the arm once you're on your side. If you need to adjust it, roll onto your belly to make an adjustment. Good, and then if you have the space, you'll roll back onto your belly and switch again. You'll take the right arm out to the right. Maybe this time take the arm up a little higher. And then bend the left knee and roll over onto your right side. Let your head just relax into the floor. You can tap your left foot behind you, or yeah, you can catch your left foot. That's fun. Good, and then roll back onto your belly. We're gonna do it 3 times each side. And stretch the left arm out. Maybe it comes a little higher. It's shoulder height or higher. Then the right knee, roll over onto the left side. Notice if it's different each time. You can tap the right foot behind you, or yeah, I see some of you catch your foot. Be at play. I heard a teacher once say, yeah, being at play doesn't mean being careless. Being at play means being creative. It's dropping what you know. It's another way to really access presence. Come back onto your belly 1 more time each side. Stretch your right arm out. Maybe you go even higher. Maybe you cactus the arm. Maybe you go lower, right? You're at play. Being creative in your own body. To release something, right? If whatever the trauma is, like that smoke alarm for my dog, we come into this playful place where we like drop what we know, and the body can then start to release and open and unlock. And then slowly come back onto your belly. Last one, left arm to the left. You choose its placement and roll over onto your side. Good, Trista and Bob, I see you close to each other. Help her out. Help each other if you're near somebody. Good, and then roll back onto your belly. And I'm going to give you choices. This will depend on how much you want to work right now. You can take bow pose, floor bow, bend the knees, catch the feet, or sphinx. Hang out, my favorite pose right now. Hang out on your forearms in a back bend, or bend the knees, catch your feet, And no right or wrong, just go to where you can go, where you want to go. You can do 1 foot at a time. We'll do it twice. So you can do 1 foot. Yeah, good. And then kick your feet to lift or stay in Sphinx and maybe pull the heart forward. Let your shoulders melt back. Wherever you are, shoulders go back. Heart space moves forward. Good, Robin. And then release down. Or if you're hanging out in Sphinx, you might just stay. You can just stay. Take a breath. And then last one, our last back bend. You can catch your feet, or Sphinx, or Cobra, or Upward Dog, or Seal, which is Sphinx with the forearms lifted, elbows lifted. And you can either push or pull. I like to pull to create traction. I love that feeling of dragging the ribs forward. Yeah, even in bow, like drag your ribs forward, pelvis presses down, kick to go higher. Get another set of ribs up off the ground. And then slowly and gently release down and just rest. You're gonna just lay prone. Actually take your arms forward, forehead to the floor. So full prone position, like whole body on the ground. Yeah, arms out in front, forehead to the floor, legs back. Like love up our Mother Earth right here. Really feel the support of the ground, of our planet, supporting your life, all life. Perfect place for a prayer. Perfect place for a token of gratitude. Good, and then from here, we're gonna come into pigeon. So you can either walk your hands in, go press back to down dog, or hands and knees, or on your back, half pigeon. That could be down dog, right knee to right. We'll do right leg first, right leg forward first, or come onto your back, right ankle over left thigh. Yeah, good. Or maybe at a wall. Good, Monica. Good to see you. Yes. And you can, yeah, soften in, melt in. Another pose that we get to bow down to the earth and be right here connected to the ground. I'm so grateful every day that my job allows me to be on the ground, that I've created a life where I get to be barefoot, wear comfy clothes. But more than that, really get to honor my body and other people's bodies that they're in. And this practice allows me to access play and creativity on a physical level, to find freedom in my body rather than tightness, tension, holding. You choose, you choose. I know as a woman, I'm speaking as a woman, and I spent a lot of my life being self-conscious, being concerned with my, how I looked or how I behaved or showed up. And the only place for me where I'm free from that is when I'm teaching or practicing yoga. Or that whole feeling of self-awareness, consciousness, worry, concern, judgment lifts. My hope for you is you have a place somewhere in your life where that can happen. And you can just be. Okay, double pigeon. So if you're on your back, you'll bring your left foot to the floor and take your knees to the left. So keep your right ankle where it is. Take your knees to the left. If you're seated, you'll spin the back leg around and stack it on top of the front leg. So it's kind of like a cross-legged seat. And then double pigeon's different from cow face in that the bottom shin, you want to try to bring forward. So the right shin, try to get it parallel to the front of your mat. And it's a try, it's not a have to. And then the left ankle bone hangs off the side of the thigh, but you try to let the left knee descend, maybe, and sit evenly into both sitting bones, and then lean forward. Yeah, and cross-legged's perfect, Daniel, and you just come forward. Maybe flex the feet so there's a little awareness into the knees. Aw. And if you're on your back, you just have your legs to the side with the right ankle on the left thigh. Good, Julie. Oh my God, that little dog. There's a lot of dogs tonight in the scene. Animals. Showing off right there. Okay, slowly come up. And then you'll make your way to the other leg. Left leg half pigeon, so you can go through downward dog, through vinyasa, or not. You can just swing the left leg around to the front, right leg behind, or left ankle can cross on top of your right thigh. Yeah, good. Love it. Take your time. So in an alternate life, my wish when I was a child was to work with animals, to be a vet somehow. I didn't go down that road, too much schooling, but I absolutely love seeing the play of your animals with you, those of you that have them in your space. It makes my heart very happy. My animals are happier than they've ever been because we're just all home. And notice where your attention is gone and just bring your attention back to your breath. Soften what you can soften here. Good, and then double pigeon. So you'll come up, take your time, spin your back leg around. Either find a cross-legged or seated Baddha Konasana, feet together is fine, or on your back, you take your knees to the right, the left foot flat on the floor. Try to get that bottom shin parallel with the front of your mat. Feet flexed, sit up tall, and as you're ready, you fold forward. See where you can go. Maybe your forehead touches the floor. Maybe it won't happen in this lifetime, and that's okay. Take a couple slow, deep breaths. Feeling into your hips and the connection to your back, your low back, your spine, your neck. Hey, little man. Good, and then from here, you'll slowly come up, and I'm going to give you some options. So you can take a forward fold if you'd like a forward fold. If you want an inversion, go take an inversion, which could be hips on a block or shoulder stand, head stand, handstand, forearm stand. Yeah, reason not to go upside down is if you're like on your monthly cycle or got something else going on, or you're having head stuff happening, you might want to forward instead of being upside down. But often inversions are really nice to do, especially right before bed in the evening. So yeah, head stand, shoulder stand, hips on a block. Good, Celia. Use your hands and your core. Good. Oh, good. Good, Robin. Really press. If you're in shoulder stand, anchor into your upper arms. If your legs are up, there's a steady lift through the feet. If you're in a forward fold, just keep drawing your sitting bones back, the spine forward. Forward folds are also very calming for the nervous system. Nice stretch in the hamstrings. Use your core, Celia. Use your center. Pull into your center. Use your legs. Press into your hands. Pull the pit of the belly in. Good, Daniel. Nice, Saeko. If you're in shoulder stand, you can go back to plow or deaf man's pose. And then you'll very easily, if your legs are up, you might just stay. Anywhere else, you'll very easily make your way down onto your back. And you can take a finishing twist. So grab a knee, twist one way, other, or you can come right into Shavasana. If you want to grab a blanket or something, you can do that. Right into rest, or if there's any finishing poses that your body feels like it's craving. Like a twist, yeah, or a Supta Baddha Konasana, feet together, knees apart, or knees to your chest, or a child's pose. If you were in headstand, you might be wanting a child's pose. Yeah, or lights out. Good, great idea. Go turning your lights out. And you'll just begin to make your way into Shavasana if you aren't already there. And Shavasana is an opportunity for stillness. I always think it's also an opportunity for integration, to integrate all that's occurred on your mat tonight into the cells of your body, into your whole being. In a few moments when you get up, you're slightly transformed. And just begin to bring your awareness back to your breath and your body. You can move your fingers and your toes, or stretch in any way that you crave. And then bend your knees and carefully roll to a comfortable side. With your eyes remaining closed, go ahead and press yourself up to a seated position. And then touch the palms of your hands together. Bring your thumbs to your heart center. And we'll take one Om. Take a breath in. Lift your thumbs to your forehead center. I hope you have a beautiful evening. Namaste.